There are two types of legal authority, primary and secondary. First, I want to talk to you about primary authority. So what is primary authority? Primary authority is the law. It tells us what we can do and what we can't do. And under this law, there's two types, codified law and case law. First, I want to talk to you about codified law. There's four types of codified law: statutes, constitutions, court rules, and administrative rules. Well, let's talk about each one of those. Statutes. In your state, your legislature develops the statutes. If we're speaking about the federal law, Congress enacts the statutes. Constitutions. Every state has a constitution, and we have one national constitution. Court rules. The court rules are procedures for the court. In your state, they're developed by your highest court. Federally, they're developed by the United States Supreme Court. Administrative rules. Administrative rules are rules that administrative agencies adopt. For example, if Congress passes the Endangered Species Act, it gives rulemaking authority to the Environmental Protection Agency to develop regulations and rules for that act. One thing I want you to remember about codified law is it's either binding or it's nothing at all. So for example, a Michigan statute is binding on a Michigan court, but an Ohio statute means nothing at all to the Michigan courts. Now, we just went through codified law. Well, remember, there's another type of primary authority, and that's called case law. And there's two types of case law. There's binding case law and persuasive case law. Well, what's the difference? Binding case law means that the court has to follow that law. Persuasive means the court could if they wanted to, but they don't have to. For example, let's say the Michigan Court of Appeals receives a brief, and in that brief there's cited a Michigan Supreme Court case. That Supreme Court case is binding on the Court of Appeals. But let's say in that same brief the attorney lists an Ohio case, and that Ohio case is from the Supreme Court of Ohio. The Michigan Court of Appeals does not have to follow that Ohio case. That case is merely persuasive. They could if they wanted to, but they don't have to. So that's it for primary authority. We've covered the two types of primary authority, codified law and case law. Now go to your workbook and do the quiz to make sure you understand everything we've covered. After that, I'll see you on video 2.2, where we'll pick up with secondary authority.